How we doing today? Geesh. This is the oil air vapor separation MET capstone, and we're going to walk you through a little bit of our test bench. Starting off here, we've got our data acquisition system that we've built. It's using an Innovate Motorsports DL32 data logger. We've custom built this whole box to tailor basically for our needs. And it's directly linked to a laptop, so we can do have real-time outputs, and we don't have to run in between using the supplied SD card for memory. We can just directly log it straight into the computer and save it much more efficiently.
And what we have here is our test setup. It's kind of crude, but what we're trying to prove is that we can use compressed air from a compressed air source, my shop compressor, to push air through our system with using a secondary regulator, 3/8 line, which is your typical PCB line, our flow sensor, and we've tapped in here for an analog pressure to see what our system pressure is. And what we have here is a Seiko Michi catch can, one of our very generous sponsors custom built this can. We're using that just for kind of a end piece to restrict the flow just a little bit, so we're not just wide open lines, so we have a real world test here. And at the end we just have a little short exhaust piece, which is more like what it would be in the car.
So now we're going to try and test it out for you. This first test, we're going to go wide open on the flow, which is about, give or take 7 CFM. So
35 PSI.
35 PSI supply pressure at the tank. And we're seeing about 14 PSI right here at the can, after it goes through our secondary regulator.
Ready?
Yep.
Is that a 5?
Yep. Double check it. Cool. We're just verifying that our flow sensor is maxed out and that our data acquisition system is showing the proper reading, which it is.
And we're at just a little bit above 3 PSI here. We had higher pressures earlier in some other test configurations. We're also trying to prove how long our supply will last at the pressures that they're at to get the full flow, because we're kind of shooting loosely right now for a 10-minute cycle time. But there's a lot of K factors involved. I mean, the real simple fluid dynamics says that yes, our 6-gallon, 150 PSI tank will be able to provide enough pressure for the 10 minutes, but with all the fittings and lines and everything, we have to reduce that because it's not 100% efficient.
Holding pretty steady.
What's our time now?
1.5 minutes. So we've passed about a 1.5 minutes of flow time, simulated flow time, and our compressor just kicked on. Flow staying stable. 100